So we got a 4v4, and on our team we got Chombi playing Terran. He's a Masters 1v1 player. And then we got me. I'm only D2 in Zerg in 1v1. But I've made M2 in 4, so I kind of know the 4's metagame. And we got Van. Van was an M1 in 1v1, near GM, like 4.7k MMR. But that's with Protoss. He's playing Zerg here, which he's much worse at. So might still be Masters or at least High Diamond. And then we got McCain, and McCain is at least a D2 in 1v1. I think he's kind of D1 caliber player. But and we're playing against, I think, 3 M1s in 4v4, and one of them's an M3. So like Smoking Pipe, I know is an Soft Kitty's an M1. These are guys are really good. I think one of these two might be an M3. Anyway, so this is a very high level game, and the Zergs are planning to flood. So that's Van and I. And then Chombi, I think, is planning to send Lings, and then McCain is macro maybe. McCain likes to go Voids in 4v4, which is kind of risky. Because of Phoenix usually, but in this case there's 2 Terrans. So anyway, there's no Protosses to go Phoenix. And Void Rays have this weird interaction with Terran where they're not good in theory, but in team games what Terran really wants to do is go mech, like make a lot of siege tanks, so Voids are obviously good against that. And then someone's got to go air usually, and so like if Terran were to go BCs, Void Rays are pretty good against that. And then if the Zergs go air, it usually means Corruptors, and Void Rays are pretty good against that. So in this case, Voids are actually okay. But yeah, I'm going for this 3-hatch Ling Flood off 20 drones where I only make 2 queens, because basically one injecting hatchery needs only 8 drones to support it. So it's 8 drones, front injecting hatchery, 8 drones, front injecting hatchery, so that's 16, and then a regular hatchery with no inject is only 4 drones actually, so that's 20. So you can kind of spam Lings off 20 or 21 drones pretty constantly. So that's my plan here, and I'm hoping to avoid making Banes. Banes are, because they have 2 Zergs, it might be worth it, but they're not great in team games just because you end up fighting off creep so much. But in this game, they probably make sense, and I think Van gets the Banes. The Reaper. Why is the Reaper getting so much done? Did we lose our Reaper? Oh, our Reaper's across the map. Okay, and they've got 2 Terrans to R1. So does that mean our pro? It would have been better if McCain helped out with that, but okay. McCain is staying home, but Chombi is suffering. And the problem is slow Lings off creep can't really fight Reapers. So it's a really awful spot for Chombi to be in. So yeah, there's a Ling speed, so that's why I was coming up to engage finally. And I got some. No, that's Van. I'm down here, but I'm still slow. Why am I so slow? Oh yeah, I did like the 1v1 thing where you trickle in the gas, but in 4s you really should go 3 in the gas immediately. So that's why I had 330 Ling speed. You should do 3 in the gas immediately and go 318. I think in 4s, because there's so many Ling floods. So now we're both flooding. And there are a lot of bases you can see. So they have their 4 starting bases. They're like at 9 base right now. I guess we're at probably 10. And they actually made a lot of Marines. So the Marines are getting work done. The Hellions are a real lifesaver. Just 2 Hellions make so much difference in these fights. So when you go for these attacks, especially if there's a Protoss, like 1 Reaper and 2 Hellions is all you need to like burst through a Hero Adept or a Hero Stalker, or even like Reaper Grenade a Stalker out of the way. So we're putting some good pressure on here. I want to pause to see like at the worker situation, because see, I cut workers at 21, so I cut workers at 21, and Vans at 24, but their Zergs, they've got a lot more than us. So they have 61 workers to 45, so they've got a 16 worker lead. So we really need base kills, I think, to be okay. Yeah, so Dan's got the Banes coming. And at some point, I don't think it's yet. I'm kind of like in an all-in still here. Because I feel like we're getting work done. Problem is Stim's about to finish. And these guys are good. Like, Soft Kitty's pretty good. And Cyborg's micro has been really good. He might be another M1, I can't remember. Maybe Sebi was there? I don't remember. So here, here I decide I need to get out of here, back off. I've kind of lost confidence. At some point I go for this third. I'm like, we have to kill bases because we clearly didn't kill them. And McCain's over there creating trouble. But this is not that troublesome because I already have a Roach Warren, so their plan is to make roaches anyway. Yeah, so I want to get this base down. So my plan is just kill the base and then get back out of here. Okay, get out. And then we want to go over here. Like 4 queens is great against the Void Ray, but not against Lings. So Van's trying to get that. At this point, I might start to drone up here if I can remember. I don't remember what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm making drones. I think this is me down here making drones. I think. So I'm back on gas. Probably drop a Roach Warren and an Evo soon. So, alright, here's this Roach push they have. We got a lot of Lings. So. Yeah, so I'm at 66 supply, so I'm doing fine. And the smoking pipe just like constantly harasses the whole game. And you can see Chombi's gone BCs behind this. So his strategy of like making a Reaper and then a few Hellions, then going into mass BCs is pretty decent. I'm not sure if we needed 2 air players. So we've already, but yeah, actually Phoenix BC is pretty good because the Vikings are good against BCs, but they're not good against if you go carriers eventually, they're not good against the carriers. So they're not terrible against carriers, but they're not great against them. Alright, so there's Van putting on more pressure. I think I'm still droning. And I'm droning and protecting drops, I believe. So I cleaned up that drop. Chombi's got 3 bases, I'm still 3 bases. I think I'm getting up to 44 workers, I'm getting there. Come on, inject, inject, inject. But where are my noob injects? Alright, I finally injected. So now, I'm kind of going to count workers here, I'm curious. So they're on... Oh, blue got hit hard. Okay, so they're at 65, 147 workers. Oh, poor Van's on 19, though. So 75, 110, 157 workers. So we're like 10 workers ahead, but they've also got an extra Terran who probably has 2 orbitals, so that's going to be worth like 6 workers. So we're like 4 workers ahead. It's a pretty close game in that sense. Actually, and we're 40 supply behind overall, so we're kind of losing here. But we've got a bit of a tech advantage because we do have BCs, which is like some tier 3 tech, and I don't think they have anything like that. And they can't, like, Protosses are good against BCs, but they don't have a Protoss, so probably a Zerg should go Corruptors. That's the right response. But their one Zerg is so dead that he can't do much. This guy chose Hydras, which is they're good against BCs, but they're just not that good. So I feel like that's a problem for them. All right, Smoking Pipe is ready to push hard, it looks like. I should be making a lot of roaches by now. Yeah, here I go. They're still slow though, right? Yeah. I've got +1 in speed on the way. They're my lings. I wanted to kill a base up here, but he's just got too much. And now they're over here killing Van, he's our best player if he's on his main race, but maybe not here. This is a bad fight, but like, I don't see a safe way to get my units out of here. So I got really worried here. But there's counter damage. Right? So it's like almost a base trade situation. So I'm just trying to mass up my roaches. And at this point I do have speed and +1, I think. Yeah. Alright, good. So McCain's cleared out the tanks. And then Chombi's got battle cruisers here to clean up the Marines. And my eco damage isn't bad. Initially. I think I'm about to lose this whole hatchery though. Yeah, we just don't have what we need. So I run my workers away. So I'm like, I don't want any part of that. These roaches are doing damage over here. Alright. Oh, so I kept the hatchery. Fantastic. I could have sworn I lost this. And Kane is harassing with Void Rays, and we still got a zillion PCs back home. Yeah, like for Terrans, this is kind of annoying to deal with. But like, I think the proper response is for them to make a zillion Vikings. But Vikings aren't that good against Void Rays. The Void Rays are faster. And then if they turn on Prismatic Alignment, they fight pretty well. So, but Vikings, if you could kite properly, you can in theory take good fights against Void Rays. And Van's just doing anything he can to harass. Alright, what do I have army-wise here? Because that's another big army. And poor Van is one base right now. He just can't get a base to save his life. And then like, it's like the problem on the right side is Van is one base. So he's a pretty dead Zerg. And then McCain is going pure Void Rays. Oh, he's adding some Tempest. But in either case, he's facing Marines and Hydras. So Marines, and there's Hydras somewhere. Where are the Hydras? I don't know. There's the Hydras. So it's like really rough on this side. So I'm making roaches still. I think roaches trade well against Hydras, and they don't trade that well against Marines, but my long-term plan is to get Ultra. So am I heading that direction? There's a second Evo I'm adding. Alright. Maybe I should have teched already, but I felt like I couldn't afford to, because we're about to die. I do have a fourth on the way. Alright, let's see what the overall kind of supply situation is. Like 253. They're at like 370. They're at like 340. So we're still behind, but it's not bad. It's playable for sure. And we still have the tech advantage, I feel like, because of the BCs. Alright, so that's where I'm putting my roaches, trying to defend my fourth. And I think I decided to go with the BCs, because I wanted to tank for them. Because roaches are decently tanky. And so if he can just Yamato tanks for me, that should be good. Good, yeah, so Chombi Yamato the tanks, so that was pretty good. And I gotta back off there. So I'm coming around again. So that was a really good fight for us. That might have put us ahead. Yeah, it looks like we're still a little behind. He's closer. I'm losing my fourth, but that's okay. Right, Van has a natural again, so that's nice. Like this side of our map is still really bad right now. But the BCs are just reigning supreme. They just don't have enough Vikings. And this guy not going Corruptors is really hurting them, I think. And this, well, he might be going Corruptors eventually. Seti. So if you ever are in this spot, you really badly want the Carapace. So Corruptors have a pretty rotten attack upgrade, although against VCs it's better because their attack upgrade is decent against massive units and it's terrible against non-massive units. But what really matters is the armor, because VCs only do like 6 damage per shot in the air or something, and they only do 5. It's like it's a very low number. I think it's 6, and so and the carapace on the corruptor starts out as 2, so they only do like 3 or 4 damage per shot. So every upgrade advantage matters a lot. Oh, okay. Alright, so the game is still, let me see, I think it's still close. 210, 370 against 200, oh, 410, so we have taken a 40 supply lead. Good, so we are slightly ahead now. I'm guessing they asked him a question. That was an accidental all chat. I don't think he was saying, yes, I'm having so much fun. Okay, so Seti got out his Corruptors. And he started attack, which is probably the wrong thing. I don't know. I feel like maybe McCain should have fought that. He would have lost it, but I mean, he's going to lose everything. He could have killed like several Corruptors if he fought it. Corruptors are pretty good. Alright, so they've got a nice Sky army now. But Chombi's just ridiculous. So he's almost maxed on DCs. There we go. Some nice bailing hits. I mean, it's amazing what Van has gotten done off of like 1 and 2 bases this game. So, where's my army? I'm making Ravagers right now? Why am I making Ravagers? Probably I was floating gas. But maybe I should have fed my allies with that gas, because the Ravagers don't really do a whole lot, other than hit some tanks if those are out, but they're not going to make tanks if the threat is BCs. So, alright, another big push. And the Corruptors don't help them on the ground, so yeah, here comes my Roach Ravager. The Ravagers are a little bit of a double-edged sword, because I can potentially file my own allies that are units. Okay, now I feel like we're way ahead. 320 to 420. Yeah, usually when you're about 100 supply in 4s, it's like the game's pretty much over. So at this point we have a significant lead, and we're just trying not to blow it. That's what I would say. And I should really be protecting Chombi there. Where am I? Here I am. It's awkward for me, because like, at this point our Protoss is pretty dead. And then, yeah, so I started to go help Chombi, but then I was like, I gotta go help the right, to the top. Yeah, so this is me here, because Van's 1 base again, and he's not even 1 base. Van is 0 bases. He's long mining at this point. And then this is almost mined out, so like McCain's got almost nothing. So our whole right side is pretty dead right here. I've actually got a pretty decent economy. Let me see what the income looks like. Yeah, so my economy is actually pretty good. And I think Chombi's was before he had to lift all his buildings, so maybe he's not. What is Chombi on? 54 harvesters? I've got 64. Anyway, so, you know, based on the income right now, even though we're way ahead, they have potential to come back and kill us because their income's so much better. So it's weird. We're ahead, but we're almost all in. But we just got the bigger army. That army is huge. It's like it's not easy to beat this, even if you have the Vikings and Corruptors. I think they just don't have enough. And I'm over here. I have Ultras finally. So yeah, so Red has given up. I think that they all give up here. So it's perfectly valid. They can't fight Chombi. So this was a very well carried game by Chombi. And to consider that, like, if you remember, like at the very beginning of the game, they had like multiple Reapers in his base, killing a lot of SCVs, and because we had Zergs next to him, we really couldn't help him. That was to come back from that to be like this dominant in the macro game was very well played by Chombi. So this was a very good game, well played by both sides, very high level game. You know, pretty much everybody in this game has been masters, like real masters in 4v4. So I bet 6 of the 8 players have been like 4K or higher in fours. So pretty good game.